Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? What about now? What about now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Let me know. I was trying. The next show I'll do, I'm trying all this new equipment. I got a new bloody mic to try. I got all kinds of things. I've been messing about with the settings all day. Oh, brilliant! You can hear me, mate. I got the little pro thing to do next time, mate. Jazz is getting technology's going through the roof, mate. So I think the settings of but I hope you can hear me now. Brilliant. What I was saying is that lots and lots of things have happened since the last game. Got 7, 8 topics at a minimum to discuss, but more importantly than not, please send me an email to westhamirionschannel@gmail.com if you want to join the show. I'm going to be live for about an hour at least. And if you send me an email, I'll give you the link. You can join me, interact with me. I think I'm going to be on my own in today's chat show. I think most of my team either on away on holiday, vacation, or they kind of some kind of emergencies turned up with the regulars. So I'd love to interact with you as always. Join me on the show if you want. Don't have to give your real name. Don't even have to be visible on the screen. Privacy, it's all there for you guys. But yeah, send me an email on Gmail and I'll give you the link and you just click on it and you into the room with me, really. So if not today, maybe next week or the next show we do. So it's all about you guys, really. Oh, mate, happy hours. They're good timing, isn't it? Like, yeah, what it was, I was trying all these new microphones and headphones, and I think the last one I used left a setting mark on this, so I couldn't really do it, really. So Freddie's in there from the morning. Freddie, hope you're doing all right. Hope you're joining the show, mate. Moyes in there. Moyes Emperor with no clothes. What a name, mate. I love to hear why you're Moyes in, mate. I know there's a few. I think there's one on Twitter today. 2 good seasons, kept us up. Fair enough, mate. Very, very interesting views, mate. Very, very interesting views. Dave's in there. Dave, are you doing all right, mate? Cheers to you as well, mate. Hope you had a good new year, mate. Happy, long time. Hope you've been okay. Hope you've been okay. I don't go that often now, Happy. I went to the Everton game, but yeah, just went straight into the ground. Go to a couple of pubs in Stratford down the high street. I don't really mingle around the ground anymore. It's just, and I used to go to the sports club, Happy Hammer, as you know, and there's no one in there like from the old times that we used to get together. So yeah, let me know when you're there next and where you guys all hang around, mate. Let me know. Bloody yeah. Let's have a look. Oh, is this still? Oh my God, is this still on mute? Steve, let me know. Can you hear me, mate? I'm not sure now. I'm getting confused. I thought I sorted it out. Let me know. Let me know. Can you guys hear me? Oh, you can hear me. Brilliant, brilliant. All right. No. Like I said, mate, all valuable, all comments, all kind of points of view. It's all welcome on the show. Back them up. Away we go, mate. No one's right, really. I used to love the FA Cup. I used to love it. I used to live for it. It's just changed over the years. Maybe they need to up the honors. Do they need to give a Champions League place to the winner to make it more important? I don't know. It's just that even this weekend, I've not watched any of the games. I did keep an eye on the Friday evening. Obviously, yesterday, the Arsenal Man City, 2 big clubs at each other. I know, Steve, mate. It's all technology, isn't it, mate? All technology, mate. All technology. What can we do? Yeah, brilliant, mate. Thank you, Steve. We've been trying to get Steve onto the channel. It's all technology. He can't get in. I can't see him. I can't hear him. It's all fun and games, mate. The West Ham Eyes channel, mate. Yeah, definitely. So the first thing we're going to talk about is Mark Noble. And before I go into it, let's go back to the early September announcement that he was going to come to our club as sporting director. And in there somewhere, it kind of mentions what he's going to do, because obviously there was a hint that he'd resigned just a couple of weeks into the role. He wasn't happy. He wasn't about what he could do, what he couldn't do, any kind of distractions in the way for him. So sporting director is very confusing because we've got Rob Newman in there, we've got Sullivan in there, as the owner. You've got David Moyes in there as well, and you just got to clarify all of their roles, what they're going to do, that kind of thing. So let me find a bit where it tells us what he's going to do Where's it gone again? Yep, contribution. Where has he gone? Where's he gone? Where's that bloody thing gone? Where's he gone? Oh my God. So it's going to be academy, looking after the interests of the players, work between David Moyes and the board, even have a say in the way West Ham play, promote the academy. Not sure how much a role there is in terms of recommending players, but there is a bit of that in there as well, really. But I think it's all overlapping. I think Sullivan is managing the window himself. Danny Ings, I'm not sure if that's a David Moyes player. Typically, Moisey always said at the beginning of the window he didn't want anyone. He's happy with what he's got. He always kind of says that, puts Antonio up front. Ings, again, we're going to in a minute, but I've always said we need a minimum of kind of three players, really, minimum of 3-4 players as a striker. Big guys, couple of big guys, couple of small guys. Mix it up. You got options on the bench as well. So I like Danny Ings coming in, but we'll come to him in a minute. But let me know your comments on Noble. I mean, I'm very surprised why he come back so quick after retirement into the club. I think he should have had a break, at least a year off with the family, go on a holiday, go around the world, mate, relax, think about what you really want to do. And literally, he's only been away from the game a couple of months, and he back in this role. It's up to him. I know he loves the club. Maybe he doesn't want to carry on with the misses, whatever. I don't know, but let me know in the chat. I know. Happy Hammer, absolutely huge fan, mate, of Nobles and everything. Let's have a look. Yeah, I'm in now. Brilliant. Glenn's in there. I think it'd be a great show if you can hear me, mate. Yeah, what I was saying, Derek, basically was a lot of things have happened since the Everton game, the show that we done probably a week ago. 6, 7 topics to go through. And again, like I said, send an email. If I can just hide your message, everyone send an email to West Ham Irons channel, gmail.com, and I will reply. I think David's in there. David has sent me an email. David, I am going to give you the link right now, my man. Let's reply to David, give him the link. There you go, my man. Hopefully that works for you, David. If not, let me know. Yeah, so that's good. Brilliant, loud and clear. Yeah, Richie, hope you're doing well. I know you've obviously been frustrated like me for many months. We were the first channel. Again, not for attention, not for clickbaiting, none of that. We honestly always say what we believe in. And whether people like it or not, it's up to them. But we always back our arguments up. We want David Moyes out after the Chelsea game, the way we kind of lost that game, the defensive approach, the negativity, the one formation that he always does, bringing on attacking options like Cornet too late. That kind of just got to me and I lost it. And since then, I've kind of lost love a little bit with the game, with West Ham, a bit the way we're playing. I haven't been that often this season. I had 3 season tickets 2 years ago, then down to 2, and then I didn't even renew any of them. I've been probably to the ground 4 or 5 times this season. That's about it. And even the Everton win, it wasn't great, but really important. We got the points on the board. If you look at our next 3 fixtures, Newcastle, Spurs, Chelsea, can't see us getting anything really in that game, but we'll see what happens. Let me just check another message. That's it, mate. Learn the basics. Yeah, that's true, mate. Thank you, mate. David's in there. David's going to be joining me. David, long time, mate. Long time. How you been?
How you doing, brother? You all right?
Yeah, how you been?
Been a bit rough over Christmas and that, but it's all good now.
All right. Hope it. Actually, my microphone's playing up again, mate. Hang on, let me just do it again. Can you hear me now? Oh, perfect. All fixed now, mate. I can hear you. All right. Hope you're better, whatever it was, mate. Hope it improves for you, mate. I know. Well, my aunt passed away. Yeah, I mean, yeah, just the 3-4 days before Christmas as well. So, yeah, it's that kind of thing, isn't it, mate? What can you do?
Yeah, I mean, my mum passed on the 9th of December, so it was a shit Christmas.
Yeah, sorry about that, mate. Yeah.
It happens when you get to my age, bruv. So
I'll tell you what, since COVID, mate, I've met some people 3 times and every time's been at a funeral. It's terrible, you know?
Yeah. Well, I'm burying more people than I'm seeing born. So
yeah. Have you managed to get to any games last year or so or anything like that, mate?
No, I quit on it. I went to the very first game at the London Stadium, the
Yeah.
friendly, and I swore I wouldn't go again, and I ain't.
How are you feeling at the moment? I mean, I kind of lost the love a little bit with the, what was going on last 4 or 5 months, football generally. I don't know how you felt, mate. Generally, what's been going on around our club?
Well, I've seen it all before. I was around when the bond scheme was going on, and I've seen us with worse teams than what we got at the moment. The difference now is that they're not putting the effort in. In the past, they put the effort in, but they were shit. So it's a little bit different. One thing that we'll always get pissed off about is if they're not putting the effort in, isn't it?
That's the thing, really. I think David, again, I was one of the few channels that wanted him in. He'd done the job I expected him to do. And then I thought he'd kick on. And the only thing about David for me, Dave, is he's done the hard work, but then I think it's the transfer windows. I mean, he's been in charge of 6, 7 windows, and I think out of the 3 at least hasn't bought anyone, and it's come back to bite him, mate. Now I think that's what it is a little bit.
Well, I've not listened to a press conference or an interview with David Moyes for 6 months now. I don't want to hear him. I don't want to see him. Don't want to hear him.
I'm very surprised because I know, Dave, you're a very sensible fan, very experienced like my father, and you again, rightly, were very, very kind of said, give Dave time, and you also, our club when John Lyle got the sack, better than me, mate. He was our 4th manager since we were formed, which was a amazing stat, and that's our culture, our history. We always give managers lots and lots of time, and again, the history was sometimes we pick managers that no one knows of. Like, better than me, Ron Greenwood was a coach at Arsenal, not even a manager. We plugged him out from there. Lyle as a coach, learned under him. And since then, unfortunately, we've gone through a lot of managers, some of them not West Ham related, because that, again, was our culture and history that we like to, within, like the Liverpool boot room, wasn't it, Dave? Like promote within, our boys, any history, any link with the club. And the ideal scenario back then, mate, would have been Billy Bonds if he came in straight after Lyle, and Lyle kind of upstairs, wasn't he? Looked after him. That didn't happen. And now, we're going through managers like any other club. And for me, what do you think's gone wrong for David Moyes then, mate? What do you think's been the issue for him, like while we're kind of struggling a bit at the moment?
I'm kind of thinking that he had a lucky couple of years, to be fair, because the football has never been great, has it? Let's be honest. And I think that for a couple of years we got away with it. What he was doing worked, but as you can see now, he don't work anymore. He's got the players that don't play his football. With your Paquetas and Skamacas and those type of they're not his type of players, and I'm still convinced that he didn't buy them. And the geezer should have gone at Christmas. He really should.
I think at a minimum, you're absolutely right. And looks like, what I've been hearing from some fans, it makes sense now that he stumbled across the formation at the beginning that kind of worked. Then Souček and Kufal came in from nowhere. Bowen, both settled, did really well. But then he began to kind of kept playing them when they were out of form, Dave, and he wouldn't rest them when sometimes even a 1-2 weeks rest is good for some players. Nothing on the bench. Antonio was only meant to be up front, Dave, for a small period, really, just to help out while we buy a striker. And it went on for 2-3 years. And still we see Antonio up front and 1 or 2 other old faces that, for me, if you're going in the right direction, those kind of players, with respect for their service, they should not be anywhere near the first 11. And after lockdown, after those couple of years, Dave, we were ahead of Newcastle, Villa, Spurs, Arsenal, Man United in development. And now we're behind all those clubs now. And to ever get anywhere near the top 6 again, that's going to be hard, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think that was always going to be a temporary thing anyway. Being above that, certainly above United, and I hate to say it, Tottenham. Villa ended up with a rich owner, didn't they? So and Newcastle. So that kind of explains those 2 away. But I mean, I don't see anything other than us getting relegated this season. I really don't. I think this is the season where we're just going to go. So I mean, I just saw what Steve said about being 58 and seeing 2 cut wins. I'm 60, so I've seen the same. I've seen the same cut wins and a few finals on top of that as well. I feel sorry for the younger supporter that hasn't seen those days, to be fair.
My first memory is the Tony Cottee debut, so I've suffered as well. The Boxing Day win at Spurs.
My first memory was Bobby Moore in goal in a League Cup semi-final at Stoke.
Yeah. Oh my God! Didn't that go to free replays? I was trying to collect the programs for that. Yeah. Wow. Oh my God! What a memory that is. I think he saved it, and they got the rebound in, didn't they? Top of my head, he saved it.
Yeah, he looked a decent keeper, to be fair.
Bee's knees. Noble has, as far as I know, Noble hasn't left, but certainly it was alarming to hear beginning of the week that he's gone. Again, Dave, sporting director, complicated roles, overlapping. You're kind of trampling on people's feet, aren't you? What are you meant to do as a sporting director? What are you meant to do as a scouting director? What are you meant to do as an owner, as a manager? It's all kind of mix and mash, isn't it, mate? John last time is nice and clear. John ran the whole club top to bottom.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, when I first started going, it was Greenwood. And it was just like a natural sort of transition over to Lyle when he went to the England job. And it was unnatural, you know. It was, but these days it don't work like that, does it? You know.
And then the thing is, listen, yeah, we haven't won a lot in a long, long time, but the culture of the club is definitely play good football and given an effort, and that's what the fans want. I know more often than not we're going to lose, but yeah, you lose 3-2, you lose 4-3, but as long as you've been first to the ball, good tackles, commitment, good football, that's what our club's about, isn't it, Dave? At the end of the day, you know, that's what it's about.
It's never been about us winning things.
No.
It's about us as fans sticking together. It's about players giving 100% and trying to play good football. And that's all it
Exactly.
is.
Yeah, like going back to the Dockers days, well, in the chicken run and all that kind of thing. That's our club. And yeah, under Lyle, we did win a few things, few cups and here and there, but generally it has been the good football. And what's hurting me a lot at the moment, Dave, is the developing Ashby story where they reckon on his Twitter account he had the West Ham colours on there and they've been deleted today, replaced with black and white blank colours. And that tells you that he's discussions with Newcastle, mate, which is what's going on here. What is David's going to ruin everything, mate? I mean, players are going, youngsters especially, they're going out the door one by one, mate. That's terrible.
Yeah, I read somewhere today that another youngster's gone to Colchester. I can't remember his name now. Another academy player. So he's gone on a permanent to Colchester, which says it all, really, doesn't it? If you'd rather play for Colchester than add a development team, you know what I mean? Obviously, for years we didn't lose these players until they were famous. You know, like Cole and Lampard, Carrick, and that. But now they seem to go before they're even known.
Ashby, for sure. I mean, even Glenn Johnson leaving when he did after those games, that still hurts me to this day because we found someone after Ray Stewart who was half decent. And Ashby, yep, he does need to learn a little bit more on defensive side and marking, but I love how tenacious he is, how he loved bombing up and down that wing and, you know, full of confidence. And I think he's a Scotland under-21 player. Sooner or later down the line, he'll probably break into their first team. So we'll see how it goes. This comment here, Cornet, well, we're going to go into Zouma in a minute, but the club, understandably, they don't always come out with the truth. Like Danny Ings, I said on my last show that he definitely has not been injured hardly for 5 years. Apparently, Dave, he got the knock 30 seconds after coming on at Everton, mate, 30 seconds. And then he kept playing till the end. Yeah, the club, and I reckon, Dave, what's going to happen? Yeah, he's meant to be back in 2-3 weeks, but what's going to happen? Oh, we need to scan it. Then it's going to be an X-ray. Then there's going to be an operation. He'll go down the same route, mate. And Cornet, I'll see it when I was with my own eyes when he's back, mate. So I wouldn't believe any rumours coming at the club in terms of how long players are out for. But I do believe in the curse, Dave. I'm sorry, there is a curse around that club. Some of the things I've seen in history, mate, it's just odd what goes on. I was telling the kids that 3, 4 players have virtually got injured without playing. Simon Webster, Billy Bond's time. I think Dick's done him. I think was it Hall, wasn't it, the centre back from Southampton? He got done in the training pre-season. He played 3 games, retired, I think. It just goes on, mate. It's just like, and I suppose deep down, yeah, you don't know when you sign a player what's going to happen. But there's so many. Zouma, I mean, Sullivan's coming out and saying I didn't want to sign him and I wanted Milenkovic, but he went for him, and now it's just like plays 2 games, out for 4, plays for 2. I mean, what's your comments on the injury situation that constantly surrounds the club? Really, yeah.
Well, I mean, I saw on a show the other day that they're saying that it couldn't be our medical team because they managed to keep Antonio fit for a season. But it seems odd that these players that have managed to play a season or 2 seasons with no injuries, as soon as they arrive, they seem to get injured. It's I was a regular caller on claret and booze.
Nick, I've got to catch up with him. Been a while, yeah.
But that was only a banter, Virgil. So.
Yeah, I mean injuries. Well, Lyle's time again. I hate going back in history. I know you can't compare the periods there and then, but yeah, every team had a squad of 14, maybe maximum. Liverpool, all those Liverpool teams that won the European Cup, the Milk Cups that used to be called 50, 60, 70 games, Dave, wasn't it, with a squad of 14? But
well, if you think back to when Aston Villa won the league,
yeah.
With Ron Saunders, and that was with a squad of 13 players.
And one thing I will not agree with is some people used to say the game back then was slower. I've seen West Ham under Lyle highlights YouTube. You can watch it tonight. From the kickoff, our fullbacks are like wing backs. We're bombing up and down, mate. McAvenny going that way. It was a fairly fast game. I mean, Dave, what did you say in your comments? I mean, I thought the game was still quite physical and rough and fast back then, mate.
Well, it was a lot more physical, for sure. I mean, if you remember back the days of Devonshire, he used to get lumps kicked out of him and Brooking. So I think it was a lot tougher then. I mean, the pussies there, to be fair.
Yeah.
Sorry, mate.
No. Especially when they wear gloves, isn't it, mate? And it's +5 degrees. Terrible.
Oh, seriously, mate. Yeah. Wearing shin pads in the dressing room. Come on.
Seriously, mate. Well, Dean has brought up the name of Antonio, mate, and he's just busy trying to get a move. It's such an old tactic that the agents tell him to do, drop the odd word here and there to piss everyone off. And Antonio should have gone again 1 or 2 years ago for me, mate.
Just go. Don't sit there and talk about it on a podcast. Go.
I've never seen someone so happy last couple of years when our form's been not so good. And then I heard something in the tunnel before one of the games. I don't know if it was Everton. I think Steve was telling me that he was getting all friendly with the Everton players in the tunnel, and Rice gave him a bit of a look. And all this thing like shaking hands before the game, trying to swap shirts at half time. And what has happened to the game, Dave? All that.
I mean, we're about to play a relegation rival. Why would you want to shake their hand? You'd rather break their leg, wouldn't you?
I mean, I do agree with Roy Keane, what he says. Like, he doesn't agree with it. He's obviously old school, and yeah, you shouldn't be. Yeah, they're just too friendly, and it's just odd. It's just odd, mate. I think
what it is these days, Jazz. You haven't got the club loyalty from the players, and that's why you see all this handshaking and all that bullshit.
They're not local lads, are they? Like Jeff Pike and Paul Allen a little bit, and all those guys. They understood the Tottenham derby. Cotty, of course, again being a local kid, they understood what playing Tottenham meant. And well, you say Lou. Well, in this comment, listen, I'm one of the only ones I thought. Okay, Lou Macari, football was. Well, he said we've gone down for a reason. We're too soft. But in 6-7 months, he made Julian Dix captain. He promoted Stuart Slater into the main team. bought Martin Allen. He bought Ian Bishop, Trevor Morley, Jimmy Quinn. Okay, Colin Foster was a bad signing, hands up. So he made his mark in 5-6 months, and whoever followed John Lyle, it was always going to be that Alex Ferguson type of person. No
I
one was
mean,
going to win, are
yeah, I
they?
mean, to be fair with Slater, I mean, Slater was one of my favourite players, but he was brought in from Ipswich, but he got it, and he wasn't a local boy.
And then Lou did say, he goes, listen, I mixed it up a bit. He goes, oh, you can't tell, like, people like Mark Ward and Dev to do long ball. They're not going to do it. He goes, all I told them to do is just toughen up a bit. And we've got relegated because he felt we were a bit soft. And it all goes down to the 86 season, Dave, where we didn't invest, mate. We didn't buy anyone in that summer. Complete shocking. I mean, Phil Parkes, interesting enough, said something, and you know more than anyone, is he reckons we could have won the league in 83, 84 time if again Lyle gone in to the window maybe for a couple of more players. I know people like Sandy Clark didn't quite work out. Witten was all right, and then Van der Elst, I think he didn't play for that long. So Phil Parkes reckons the 83, 84 team was quite interesting. I know we used to start off quite well back then, didn't we? Top the league and all
Yeah,
that.
I don't think we. I mean, it's not like it is now. I don't think the money was about Jazz. I don't think we could go out buying these players.
You're right. I think we were owned by the Cairn family, weren't they? And they local, was it local builders, weren't they? I think. Well, you look
Yeah,
at the Edwards family, Man United, they were butchers, mate. So you had those kind of owners, didn't you, back then? Not what we've got at the moment.
yeah.
Happy Hammer.
Kern's family were naughty, weren't they? Naughty people.
Oh mate.
And what was his name? Brown, was it? That was in with him.
Terence Brown.
Yeah. He's still there, isn't
He was an accountant by trade, and he made his money in those holiday clubs in Sussex. Funny enough, he has got an honorary seat always available at the West Ham. He made a lot of money when he sold it to the Iceland group, Dave. He made a killing on it. He made done really
he?
well out of that.
Yeah. I remember going down to Sussex Beach the one year. I thought I'll have a because I got the kids and that. I thought, yeah, we'll go down and met all the players. Phil Parkes was there, Tony Gale. It was a good crack. Yeah, I didn't realise he was behind all that though.
Yeah. That's part of his. I don't know what else he's got his fingers in and everything like that. But I love that's part of me. I love meeting some of the old players if I can. I think I had a chat with Gailey the other time, and those players, like, I felt really, Gailey's like, he came out, he goes, Jazz, I'm really, really glad he had a chat with me. It looks like a lot of the youngsters don't know who these guys are. I'm like, wow, I'll bloody give anything to have a couple of words. I think Martin Allen was there, so he didn't know that. I used to go to games in 89 and I used to get the tickets, like, I knew his dad, I met his mum, his gran was alive, bless her, back then. So he's a Berkshire Reading boy. I'm not too far from there, so I knew a bit about him, and he kind of sat next to, had a good little chat, a couple of weeks. Yeah. I love chatting. It's all about the old days and proper West Ham people. Like we need more West Ham coaches. You look at the coaches at the moment, Dave, at the back that are next to David Moyes. I don't see anyone with personality. Someone trying to. You look. Okay, I hate Arteta, but when you see him on the touch and his backroom teammate, they are like visible. They're jumping up and down. They're passionate. They're in the referee's face. Even trying to stop a player taking a throw-in, mate, was Arteta. So we need a bit of that, don't we? A bit of passion.
Yeah, trouble is with Arteta, he's got the sort of face you just want to keep it in, doesn't he?
Absolutely, mate. Yeah. He does. Definitely. Steve, you're right. Liverpool 3-2 win, mate. We kind of peaked then. I was walking on air, and then we didn't buy anyone in that window, if you remember. And then obviously Europa, Cressy and all that. It's just that Cressy's been a nice servant, 8-9 years at the club, good kid to have around, but he shouldn't be anywhere near our team, Cressy, should he? He's like no pace, nothing, mate.
Yeah, trouble with Moyes is he don't know when to let go, does he?
Yeah.
And the person that he let go is for me. When Pearce left, everything went to shit. Shit, Pearce, that is.
What do you think about the Danny Ings signing? I think it's good. I mean, score goals, the old school. You can play two up front with him and mix it up, and he can be on the bench sometimes. Do you agree, Dave? We should always have 3, 4 strikers at the club, minimum 3, at least 3.
Oh yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
especially with our injury record. But yeah, I was pleased with the signing. I was surprised that he signed because like Villa were doing all right, weren't they? Mid-table. So yeah, good signing. He's out for a month, isn't he?
Again, mate. I'm not going to believe it. It's 2 weeks. It's 3 weeks now, and I reckon it's going to be longer. And then it might be you're back, then you're away again. It's just our typical thing, mate. Steve is showing off now because Steve was at the 76 Frankfurt game, 80 FA Cup final, 81 League Cup final. So Steve was at all the big games. So he's asking you, Dave, were you at any of those big
Yeah,
cup games back then, mate?
yeah. I was at the finals. I went to the Anderlecht final, 76.
Oh, did you?
But my question to Steve is: was he at the celebration in East Ham for the 80 Cup final? Because
And
there was about a quarter of a million people there that day.
so that was the following Sunday, was it? I believe, was it?
Yeah, the final was on the Saturday, and then the reception was on the Sunday lunchtime.
So you would have gathered around near the town hall, I believe, isn't it? Maybe
Yeah, we
perhaps.
was all outside the town hall. Yeah, that was something else.
And without precisely sort of giving your location away, I mean, how close were you living to the ground back in those days?
Kent.
Bloody hell, Dave! Of course, there's so many people from Kent, and they get down here fairly quick, isn't it? It's not too far.
Well, now from Chatham, it's 27 minutes to the London Stadium.
God,
So,
my aunt still lives in Rainham. She used to live in Gillingham near the station, and then she's moved to Rainham. Yeah, I got a few family out there. Bloody hell.
yeah, I spent a bit of time over Rainham. I had a cottage at Rainham Way. Offenham. Do you know Offenham?
A little bit, yeah, yeah. It's been a while, but yeah, we used to go there all the time. And then my parents, grandparents didn't drive. They used to catch the train from Victoria into Gillingham from back in those days. Bloody hell.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Rochester was my place, but
Rochester.
I lived sort of in quite a few towns down in Medway.
Medway, yeah, all that. Sittingbourne around there, is it? Sittingbourne around there, not far.
Yeah, Sittingbourne and Faversham.
Yeah.
My mate's got a vape shop in Faversham, actually. I just plugged him, seems thick. Promotion. But I moved up to the Midlands. How long now? 3 years next month since I moved.
That's a big move. Yeah. Different setting. But yeah, hope you settle in well, mate. Like you said, just look after yourself. That's the main thing, mate. It's been up and down since lockdown now, and it's still weird, mate. It's just weird. Don't know
I think Black Country Hammer only lives down the road, so we should get a beer.
Yeah. I mean, I got family in Wolverhampton, and he was telling me that pints of beer are like £2-3 at the most, 2.50, something like that. You can get away with around there, £2-3.
Well, I'll get on the factures, 2.80 a pint. Sweet.
It's not bad, mate. Hammer Time thinks Ings didn't look fit when he came on. The thing you just got to look at the stats. I thought he's injured, but when I looked at his games played last 5 years, he's played most games, and comes to our club 30 seconds, he gets clattered. There's no words to describe that, It's not his fault. It's just crazy, mate.
BCH Redditch, mate. I just saw it.
That's it, mate. Pace, you're right, Steve. Pace, we definitely lack pace. And another thing we lack, and Dave will agree, when you're going out there looking for players, is captains and leaders. We don't have any. And I wouldn't personally make Rice captain, but it is what it is,
I think what I would have done, it was clear from the start of the season that it was going to be his last season, so I would took the captaincy away from him. I wouldn't give it him.
We don't think proactively. We always reactive. So we were never going to do that. We were never going to buy his replacement until we've sold him, and everyone knows how much money we've got. But I think, again, saying on a couple of the other shows, Dave was like, Hopefully you get 80, 90 million, whatever, and then we don't need to spend a lot to replace him. A CDM. What's going wrong with the team for me, Dave, is that got to go back to basics where you get a good, strong back four, good goalkeeper, back to the Arsenal, that kind of back lineup, Adams, Keown, that kind of thing, where you defend, proper defend. Fullback should hopefully have young enough and be strong enough to be wing backs if you need them to be wing backs. It's such an important position at the moment where you provide extra width. You can change formations again if you've got good, strong, young fullbacks who are pacey. The two CDMs for me, just sit there, win the ball, and quickly give it to the people that are more creative. No need for CDMs going all over the pitch trying to be superstars, scoring goals from 40 yards. Get good wingers in who can hopefully stay on the wing and play strikers as strikers. So too often playing people in the wrong positions or people who are not their fault, but they're just too old to carry on. And we just that's half the problem, Dave. You look at Arsenal. I know he's been giving a lot of money, Arteta, but he's completely changed that team in 2 years. The average age is 24. We had the second oldest team, Dave, last year after Leeds, and now we haven't improved a lot. I know we shipped a lot of old boys out, brought young ones in. We're still the fourth oldest squad average in the league at the moment, mate.
You say that though, Jazz, but I think over the last 2 years we've probably spent as much as they have. They reckon about 300 million over 2 seasons, don't they?
Are you worried about 53 million per Paqueta and?
No, and I'll tell you for why. With the exception of one or two players, Cresswell and probably Antonio, you bin those off. You've got a decent squad. All you need is a decent manager that knows how to play football. You know.
What's happening with the transfers, Dave, is a bit confusing because you get some players in and then he won't talk to them. You can tell Benrahma doesn't like him. Alex Crowell, we're hearing stories, used to cry in the car park, even though what I saw of him, yeah, it wasn't that good. But a manager's duty is to put his arm around those type of players that need it, have a go at the ones that need it. That, like you said, he's earning 2, 3, 4 million a year, Moyes. It's not our job. And he just discards some people and then sometimes doesn't show a lot of emotion on the touchline. I'll give you an example. There's a youngster, Liverpool, coming on, and Klopp was like hugging him for 2 minutes in his ear like it's his son, patting him on the back. You don't see much of that, Moyes, do you? A lot of that, encouragement to the players. I don't know.
He just sits there, doesn't he? It's like you say about Arteta. At least he's animated and he's fiery and lively. And Moyes, he just seems to sit there and has that stupid blank look on his face. I think that blank look is he don't know what he's fucking doing.
I think you're right, mate. It's like sometimes the team represents the manager's personality, and Arteta ants in his pants all the time. The players play like that, mate. From the first minute, they're on the front foot. They're zipping it around super fast, pressing you. You don't even have 2 seconds on the ball with Arsenal. And then the other thing I noticed, Dave, is obviously we haven't conceded a lot of goals when you look at the stats, but that's because a lot of the time we've got most of the team behind the ball. But when we have a chance to attack, Dave, there's no one there that is there in numbers in the right position. If you're a winger, you look up. Antonio's probably, like I said, having a cheeseburger in the corner flag somewhere. There's no one making those runs. So Arsenal do all of that, but when Arsenal attack, there's four options for you at a minimum. When they do it, we don't got no one up there.
I mean, I watch all the games by one way or another. I won't say what, but from all the games that I've seen, there's only one team that's worse than us going forward, and that's Everton. And strangely enough, we beat them.
I think that one was hopefully going to happen anyway, because apparently, they reckon that he lost the dressing room before that game anyway. They weren't going to play for him. I think Wolves are not too clever going up front either, if you look at the stats. Peter says football in the 70s and 80s was so much better, mate. You're probably going to agree with that, aren't you?
I loved football back then. I couldn't stay away from it. And it probably wouldn't have mattered. Well, I say probably wouldn't have mattered. leaving the bowling for me was just a knife in the back. To be fair.
Well, the thing is, Dave, we could have easily have stayed if we just knocked the East Stand down and built something that hopefully was as high as the West Stand, cover the corners. You would have got nice 45, maybe a bit more, 50, maybe.
They reckon it could have been expanded to 42,000, don't they? Which, to be honest, proper supporters, that's enough, isn't it? You know.
Yeah, maybe a bit more. Well, yeah, you get certainly. Well, the other thing is, mate, they talk about money. There's only corporate boxes in this ground at one end. There's nothing behind the goals, nothing behind Billy Bond's stand where I usually watch it. I went on the tour, Dave, of the ground. Oh my God, it's one of the dullest, boringest tours of any ground you can imagine, mate. There's, like I said, there's only one stand where they show you. There's nothing. They can't take you behind the goals because it doesn't join up. There's nothing in the Billy Bond stand. And yeah, you've got a little bit at the other end. There's nothing to show you but the dressing room, bit of the long tunnel. Nothing much really there to see or feel kind of linked to the club or the ground. It's just very cold, really, isn't it? It's very weird.
Yeah, I'm just gonna drop you an email, Jazz. Something I want you to pass on, but not publicly.
No. Yeah, no problem, mate. No problem. Steve Devonshire was his favourite. Devonshire actually manages Maidenhead, who are not too far from where I live. And it got that bad, Dave. I was thinking of going to some of these non-league matches, just, you get proper priced food and good atmosphere and close to the ground. And I think I might do a bit more of that, mate. I think go to more of your local football team, support them a bit as well.
Yeah, well, I actually live about 300 yards from my local side, who are in the. I'm trying to think what division they're in. It's not league, obviously. I think it might be the division South or Division North, and I go and watch them. As I say, it's like 300 yards away. It costs me a £5 to go in.
Well, yeah, bloody hell, mate! I can't even get the program hardly. We just about get a program. I think West Ham for £5. Just about.
Half decent food, got a bar. They probably get about 500-600 people go. It's
actually you reckon? Yeah, I mean, what you said about us going down, mate. I'm not going to say no to that because before I would have said no, not sure. I'm open to that, mate. I'm not going to say we're not going to go down. Put it that way. Our pick feels the same. It's quite tight, bottom 7, 8, but it's the fixtures, Dave. Those 8, 9 fixtures we gave David Moyes around late November, December. Got nothing out of all of them, and now. But then who's going to come in? It's just mind-boggling. What I haven't thought about this before. Who's going to come in and that kind of thing, mate?
Yeah, I've just emailed you, mate.
Cool, no problem.
Yeah. So, are you going? Are you going to Derby?
No, I don't. I'm not going. I'm not really going a lot at the moment. I went to the Everton game, Blackburn Cup game before then.
Yeah.
Not really, mate. No, not really. And not. Well, I don't even think I'm going to have a chance to get a ticket. It's very difficult to get to away games, and yeah, if you're playing good football, I was in the mood. You make a bit of an effort, don't you?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, my last game was Gillingham away when we played them in the cup a few years ago.
Yeah. Let me just go through the last bit of comments. Devonshire was Steve's favourite player. Who's your favourite player back then when you used to watch it? In the 70s, 80s under Lyle? You're probably Billy Bonds, aren't you? Billy Bonds?
It was two, really, for different reasons. Bonds but Bonds as a midfielder. And Trevor Brooking was my idol as a school kid, and when I sort of after I left school. So Trevor Brooking, I guess.
Yeah, he's still at every game with his wife in the same seat.
Yeah, you hear a lot on like all these type of shows. You're hearing people saying that Brooking should do it, but he's in his 80s. Why would he want to?
No, no, no. I mean, I do remember his passion when he stepped in that Glen Road season. I remember the Chelsea win. Oh my god! I know. I didn't know he had it in it. I thought he was a gentleman, quiet. He went nuts at that touchline, and then no one, yeah, no player's going to have the guts not to play for that guy. You know, just in awe of him. Lawrence, hope you're okay, all the way from Kentucky, USA, mate. Hope you're doing well.
I see they're talking about where they used to stand at the old bowling. I used to stand in the North Bank, in the centre, about halfway up, right behind the goal. And the smell of piss, mate, was just it was dirty.
Oh mate, yeah, they all mention things like the Peanut Man and all that kind of thing, going back to those days. Yes, it's there you go. You got Steve going. They ain't gonna stop now. Steve's got probably gone through 9 bottles of bud, 10 fags. He's on it, mate. He's on it, mate. The other thing was obviously, yeah, we're linked with a striker called Moffy, plays in the French League One, but we're not sure if that's going to happen. We put a deal on the table a week ago. 3 clubs are after him, mate. West Ham, Marseille, Nice. Nigerian, 6'2", 6'3". Danjuma. Moyes doesn't like his character, and he's kind of another thing. Dave, modern football, mate. The guy does takes photos with the shirt on, and even says that, yeah, you know, like the interview's ready, like I'm going to keep these guys up, and then goes to Spurs. Modern football, isn't
Yeah,
it?
I mean, the thing is with this Moffat, he's already said he don't want to come to England, doesn't he? So why are they bothering? You know, Moyes, he just needs to get his head straight, doesn't he? You know, it's, um, what was it that he was saying? Oh, yeah, Steve. Yeah, you can't beat a mouthful of nuts, mate.
Quasi, yeah, that's his name actually. Quasi, I think there's a couple of people are saying it, mate. Yeah, yeah, that's what they're going on about. But well, if we do go down, then well, we've got big stadium, mate. I don't know how many people
Oh,
are going to go. 60, 61, 65, is it something like that? The attendance at the moment.
yeah, I mean, at a push, we're looking at 30,000, aren't we, in that stadium? It's going to be like a pre-season friendly every week, isn't it?
Well, I used to be on a waiting list, and then when sort of Bilic went, everyone gave their tickets back, and I grabbed 3 for myself, and now Championship, I'll be there every day, mate. I'll be there. We'll be top 4, top 5. I'll be all right with it. I don't
I mean,
care.
it'd be all right around here because there's a lot of championship clubs around here. So
You used to go to Gillingham a lot or not? Did you go now and again?
I actually used to go to Faversham town because I've got friends in Faversham, so I could stay overnight. And the same as it is here, it was a little club to get back between 500 and 1,000 people there, and you know, it's everyone was there just for a good day out. Really, everyone got pissed, and you know, couldn't tell you a lot
Yeah.
about the football. I don't know what sort of football it was. I was always too rat ass, mate. But
Gillingham is one of those clubs, a bit like the Bristol clubs. They're hardly ever in the top league. Players, I think Cascarino, Steve Bruce, Cahill play for them. I can't remember. I don't think so. No, he came from Millwall, didn't he? No. So not many players I can think about come from Gillingham, but they're always ticking along, yeah. Lower leagues and well, a bit like Brentford, I was going to say, and but now Brentford's like, yeah, doing all right. Couple of years, top league,
get Black Country Hammer to email you.
cool. Yeah, Black Country Hammer, send me an email because I need to send a message to you. So send me an email on the West Ham Minds channel at gmail.com. Just saying hello, anything. Just send me an email and yeah, I've got something to pass over to you, sir. Then we've got
Uh,
John. Oh yeah, oh, sorry, he's asking if you went. Oh, did you go to Wolves a few weeks ago? Okay.
no, I don't. I don't go to games now. I'm 60. I've got a lot of health problems, so I don't do it now. Um, and even if I was fine and lived on the doorstep, I wouldn't be going to that shithole, to be honest.
It is. I don't know what to make of it because the football under Bilic was okay, and then yeah, transfers. I think Sullivan perhaps went all over the place. Then Paye left, and then football under Zola was good. Football under Pellegrini, I thought is good, but he left the back door open. Dave, we can't get the right blend of attacking football while still keeping an eye on the at the back, in it, mate.
Yeah, I mean, I remember the Zola days, and my favourite player was Diamante. He was spot on.
The
You
kids used
remember
to
him?
love him. Yeah, the free kicks, mate. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, my girlfriend at the time, she was in love with him because of his hair.
No, he was. Listen, he was good, mate. And again, very odd why he went. I don't know if it was for the money. I'm not sure, but yeah, he got into the Italy full team, first team, and everything, mate. Yeah, there
Yeah,
wasn't
and
much to shout
I
about.
couldn't
Yeah.
believe it because, like, I think it was only after about a year they binned him off, didn't they? And I thought, what?
I think it's something to do with the money. I mean, Jack Collins, I think he was good back then. He wasn't too bad. And Carlton Cole was all right under Zola. He got broken to the England team around that time. So few things were happening. But Dave, the
Yeah,
football was good. Football was good, mate. That's the main thing. You know,
yeah, I love Carlton Cole.
football was good. Everton linked with Arnie, probably, mate. They're desperate. He's 33. He'll probably, yeah, he's good. It's all about money with Arnie. He'll do anything for money. But on the pitch, yeah, he does it on the pitch, off the pitch, a
Yeah,
bit,
but
bit.
after a season, he wants to piss off again, doesn't he?
You get players like that, mate. It's just weird. Like, yeah, you got Pie, he
Yeah.
only wants to play for Marseille, and then we signed that Joey Beecham, who rest in peace. I think he's passed away, but yeah, he stayed in Oxford, Swindon area. Unsworth,
Oh,
he wanted to go back to Everton, didn't he, after a year? And you get all that, didn't you, now and again? I don't know.
yeah, I didn't realise Joey Beecham had passed.
I think he's passed away. I think he's passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Otherwise, it'd be a bit like Alan Brazil talk sport when they have a Bob Monkhouse, that classic thing. I don't even heard it. You didn't realise Bob Monkhouse had passed away, and Alan Brazil goes, I heard a different version of the story. It's bloody
Yeah.
gone
So
vile.
where do you used to drink down at Upton Park, Jazz?
I didn't go a lot because I live a bit out of the way, so I live near Berkshire, but I would always sit in the West Stand upper and drinking would be the Blin, mate. That's it, the Blin pub. That'll be mine. Because the journey takes so long on the train, 1.5, 2 hours, and then in the
Well,
Berlin.
we used to park the car at East Ham in a cheap car park, and then walk down, and used to go in the central.
Yeah, Dad would always drive as well, funny enough, back in those days. Yeah, a couple of roads away, you'd always get parking. I even drove to the last ever game, the Man United game, got there early. Um, and then family were messaging me saying, "You guys okay?" Because I heard about the bus outside and what's going on out
Yeah,
there, all
yeah,
kicking off,
yeah.
all that kind of thing.
I think I
Yeah,
was that night. I was there at about 5 o'clock, I think, and I took the train that time, so I could get hammered, and I did.
good for you, mate. Very
That was a
emotional
great,
for me. Yeah, I kind of,
great
yeah, I
night.
lost it a bit. On the video thing when they at the end they showed, I think it's the Billy Bonds photo of the old players. That was it, mate. That was me gone, mate. That was me gone, mate. Bloody, it got me going again, Dave. Sports Club Castle Street, Steve. Yeah, we went to see it, didn't we, last year? Yeah, still there. The Sports Club, Dave. It's still there. I think there were stories of the one of the fan groups. They're going to bring the old badge over to the new ground. There's something going on there. They're trying
I
to make
think
that happen.
I think Stell goes in there, doesn't he? I'm sure still goes in there.
No, it's not operating the sports club anymore. Oh, yeah, the new ground. Yes, at the new ground, the new equivalent, which is hired in a. They're giving us the top floor, aren't they? It's not. Yeah, it's not really what it
Oh,
used to be,
right.
but they've
It's not
managed to hire. Yeah, they've got some space up there, mate. Yeah.
it's not the old one then.
No, no, no. The old one is gone.
Okay.
But all they managed to do is, yeah, we've still got the memberships, but it's kind of, yeah, it's close to the new ground. They're giving us the upstairs and sometimes downstairs as well. So yeah, there is a space to gather, and it
Yeah.
still operates as the club. But yeah, it doesn't own the building or anything like that anymore. But hopefully, yeah. I mean, they haven't kicked us out, so yeah, people still get around, but it's not the same though. Yeah. Right, we've been live for about an hour, and again, really, Dave, thanks for your precious
Yeah.
time, my man, and really good to see you on the channel. And hopefully, we'll get some of them all. The other lads are all busy, got a couple of emergencies going on with them. Some of them are out with their kids and that kind of thing. But what's your final thing you're thinking about this season, mate? I can't wait for this season to end, Dave. It's been a write-off for me, mate. It's been a nothing to shout out about, mate, and after all the players we signed, I can't believe the situation we're in, mate. But that's us, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, what I want to see is well, there's what I want to see and what I think will happen. I want to see Rice sold in January. I think he just needs to go. I just think that he's creating a bad atmosphere amongst the supporters. Maybe not all the supporters, but there's a fair few that voice their opinions on some of the fan channels and groups on Facebook and that ain't happy with Rice. I'm not happy with him. I just want him gone there. Let's get the money for him, invest it properly, get rid of the manager before we spend any money, and then invest it properly in the squad. So that's what I want to see. And what I think will happen is if Moyes stays till the end of the season, we'll get relegated. And probably won't go down to the last game. I think we'll be well relegated before the last game.
The way we're playing, I can't see any positives, mate. It's pretty dour football. It's all over the place. So many issues, mate.
I mean, he's going to pull a result out every 3 or 4 games, but that ain't going to be enough to keep us in the division.
Yeah, that's the thing with the board. I mean, every 6 games, you're going to stumble across a victory, one way or another.
I mean, let's be honest. Me or you could find one victory out of 6 with that squad of players. It ain't hard, is it?
No, you can do it. But with Rice, mate, yeah, he's going through the motions. Antonio's just on the contract he's on. He's just having a laugh, mate. There's not enough people that actually care about the club. And what you'll find now, Dave, like, in history, is when you're down there, you're going to get, I don't know if it's on purpose, you're going to get a lot of players just getting injured, mate. They don't want to play. And with Arsenal situation, it's the opposite. No one will get injured. But when you're down in our situation, loads of players will just go missing, mate. No one's up for the fight. Rice giving Arsenal his word. Again, just act and behave as though he's gone, Dabs. For me, he's gone, mate. I've got nothing to say, and he's just going through the motions and not quite been on it, and not really captain material for me. Should have get someone in a bit older who's been around the block a bit more, and certainly in the situation we're in. But yeah, he's given us lots of good games, been a good player. Seems to be a good lad, and yeah.
I mean, what Steve's just said in there about Everton are going to go. Now, a week ago, I would have agreed with that 100%. But now they've got the gruff boy. Now he's took over. I can see him getting out of it. I think he'll just get him playing in a way basic football. But I think they'll be difficult to score against, and I think they'll get some results. Southampton, they're shit. But I still think. I still think we're the second worst team in the league.
Certainly playing like it, and then I think Rafa's coming in. Sean Dyche, they fought because of Ings and Cornet. Maybe he's coming in, but he's got that. He's got the old Burnley centre back, I think, at Everton. But Everton, they're not that clever either, mate. Southampton got Wright Phillips, Yeah,
he's saying that he took Burnley, but he actually didn't, did he? Because they sacked him before they got relegated. So he didn't actually take them down.
Trini Hammer, hope you're okay, mate. Joining Arsenal, I mean, it's up to him. I think Chelsea are not looking too clever. Their manager's probably going to go as well sooner or later. Arsenal, owners pulling the money out, mate. They're all 24, 25. It's all right. Arsenal, Dave, Arsenal, always a club West Ham respected, looked up to, Marble, Clockend and all that kind of. Yeah, it's what it is. But what I don't agree with, like, a lot of these Arsenal fans are coming out and saying some nasty things to other clubs and acting all big-headed again. And I'm like, guys, you've always won. I'm not going to feel sorry for Arsenal fans. They've won like 500 FA Cups while waiting to win the league. Look at us. But I don't know why fans get nasty when they start to win things. You get that with Liverpool.
I mean, I've never had a problem with Arsenal as a club. Probably the only London side that I've never had a problem with.
Yeah, same as me, mate. Yeah.
But the supporters, they've always been dickheads, and let's face it, we used to hand their asses to them every time. So maybe not on the pitch, but
Listen, some lots of nice victories lie all over Arsenal at home, 83, 84 times, and that's the kind of thing. If we go
yeah,
down, yeah, we'll see, mate. We'll see.
yeah. I mean, they're idiots, aren't they? You know, when you look at how they treated Wenger, right? And then the other week they were on TV and Wenger was in the stands and they was praising him, and I thought, you what? You handed that geezer out of the club.
It is, mate. They are a bit, a bit two-faced and all that kind of thing, mate. Bees knees. If David Moyes stays and Ings is fit, do you have any confidence that Moyes will actually use him? I mean, Antonio was up front against Everton, and had a half okay second game in about a year, and people are all over him, and
To
that's the
be
thing.
to be fair though, to be fair to Moyes, Ings has got to get used to the Premier League, hasn't
Was this actually a statement from Rice? Was it actually a spoken word from him about his Arsenal? I'm not sure. Zouma's
he?
out. Yeah, Zouma's out.
I'm
Maguire's
not
linked.
sure. Not sure where it actually came from, but it's been everywhere, isn't it? That he's supposedly promised to sign for Arsenal. I don't know where it's come from. Maybe someone in the chat knows.
Don't think Maguire has said no already. Yeah. I wouldn't bloody come here at the moment, mate. Oggy, Kara, they're all a joke, mate. It's absolutely shit show, as you know. Let me just go through the final comments and we close down. What is happening on and off? Yeah, we're down, mate. Well, close to being down anyway. But yeah, it's not pretty. Next couple of fixtures. I mean, Newcastle, yeah, top of the world. Again, Nottingham Forest semi-final, United. That all came out of our side of the draw. The League Cup, we lost to Blackburn on penalties. That's again typical us. Yeah, sometimes we don't help ourselves, Dave, and it's just another EastEnders journey. Being a West Ham fan, mate, and it is. But this time round, Dave, with that ground and that thing, what the owners told us, it's going to be a tad embarrassing going down, Dave. This time.
Well, the Maguire thing, he's only good if he's got 6 defenders around him. So that's that's how we're playing. So I wouldn't want him. I wouldn't want him here. 200 grand a week, really?
No, I think you want to sign players who actually hopefully want to come for the right reasons. But yeah, it's going to be embarrassing. Owners will probably sell up shortly after, make 600% profit on their, was it 100 million, 110 million they paid for us. Now they value at what, 650? Newcastle sold for 270, 280, 290 million, I think. So I don't know where they get their valuation from. We don't even own the ground. We got no assets hardly to borrow any money on. It's just nuts, mate. I mean, if they sell the club in 4 months' time, they've left it in a worse state than they got it, mate. After everything we've gone through.
Yeah, I mean, unless there's some sort of deal being made behind closed doors regarding the stadium, you don't know, do you? Because they want to offload it, don't they?
That's what I thought. Yeah, I reckon they'll do a deal if you give them half decent money. But obviously Sullivan is, going to take them right down to the wire, and we'll see what happens and who wants to buy us and things like that, mate. We can't even find a sponsor for the ground and all that kind of thing.
Oh, the naming rights, yeah. It's
don't know what's going on.
Yeah, probably be Tampax or something.
Yeah, well, I thought it'd be the Dildo Stadium or something like that. But anyway, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't know. But good having you, Dave. Hope 2023 is good for you and everyone else in the chat. And we'll catch up in the next weeks and months on the show. And for me, this season is a write-off. I am not enjoying any of it. I'm a miserable sod and have been for most of this season. And it's just astonishing how David Moyes is still there with the window nearly finished. Who's buying the players? What's going on? It's a typical shit show. Really, really typical. Slightly worse than the usual West Ham EastEnders drama we get. All we can say, Dave, is we really don't know day to day what's happening with our club. what kind of news is breaking, but it just seems to get lower and more embarrassing. Let's
Yeah.
let's see, mate, day by day where we end up, where our club ends up, mate.
Where's Frankie anyway?
He is he's gone on a what can I say? Yeah, he's taken a little one somewhere nice for the weekend, shall I say? His little boy. He's taken him.
Oh,
Yeah. So yeah, I did chat to him earlier on today. So
not
glad
West
you.
Ham, then,
No, mate, glad you rescued the show and came in, mate. Good timing. But yeah, we laugh and joke, but deep down, I'm miserable, mate. West, I am miserable. I'm just not in a good, not in a
I'm
good
at the
place,
point
mate.
where I can just shut off from it now. To be honest, mate, years ago I used to get all emotional, but now it's just what you expect to see. So you can't be disappointed. Obviously, you still swear when the game's on, but once the game's over, it's like, right, what box set am I going to watch, or what I'm going to have to eat?
I don't leap out the seat when we score. I don't do that anymore
No,
because I know we're going to lose
no,
anyway. Even Arsenal, when we scored 1-0, I knew we were going to lose the game. I knew that anyway. The way I knew that.
no. It's they kind of suck the life out of you, don't they?
Oh, mate, that's the right word, mate. Absolutely. Anyway, we're going to close off. And again, yeah, thank you, Dave. And we'll catch up again. Please come again.
Okay,
And
no worries,
Black
mate.
Country Hammer, please send me an email to westhamirons@gmail.com. I've got a message to give to you, my man. And thank you, everyone in the chat. And I'll be doing one or two more things the next couple of days. And then watch this space, Dave. Let's see where we end up, isn't it? Let's see what happens, mate. That's it.
Yeah. Just final note. Just thanks for everyone being nice in the chat, because you kind of put yourself on offer, don't you?
No, I think these guys have been with us since the start, and we all generally have the same feelings about what goes on. And Touchwood, even on Twitter, don't really have any issues with everyone. They kind of know what I'm about, and it's fine. I'll say something strong, but I'll back it up, and hopefully that's what they're all right. They're all right with it. And I don't. And then a couple of the channels were like, I lost it after the Chelsea game, and a couple of the channel guys I know, they go, Jazz, you're clickbaiting, you're asking for attention. I said, I'm not. I want him out. I've had enough. And then you always know it's like Dave a week later, they're all doing the same thing as me, but it is what it is, mate. Yeah, old defense.
I mean, at the end of the day, we all want what's best for the club, and at the moment, it's not Moyes and it's not the owners.
Yeah, but perhaps the truth is there's more than one issue at the club. But yeah, we kind of know most of them what it is.
Yeah, I mean, they reckon they've got a mess up at Everton. They want to have a look at our place. Jesus.
Can't even get the burgers right, Dave. Bloody, I don't even eat at the ground anymore. It's a rip-off, mate. Anyway, that's another moan for another show. But yeah,
about a tenner, isn't it, for a burger?
Yeah, mate, it's a long story. It is. Yeah, thereabouts, cold, and yeah, long story with the food bloody thing, mate. But glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, you take care. You take care, mate, as well. Take care. Thanks, everyone.
All good.